So last time we had seen the overview of entire syllabus. આપણે જ્યારે વ્યક્તિ જન્મે ને તો ત્યારે રોતા રોતા જાય અને જ્યારે મરે ત્યારે બીજા બધા લોકો રોતા હોય. એટલે ફાઇનાન્સ છે ને શરૂ જ્યારે થાય ને ત્યારે ટાઈમ વેલ્યુ ઓફ મની થી શરૂ થાય અને પૂરું થાય પાછું ટાઈમ વેલ્યુ ઓફ મની ની એડવાન્સ એપ્લિકેશન થી પણ. It starts with the time value of money, it ends with the time value of money. You take any kind of a concept in the finance, no, right from the options to the derivatives to the valuation of securities to the valuation of shares to know that whether you should invest in this or not. This everything starts with the time value of money. Yes, other things will be there along with the time value of money, but it's gonna be always the base for any kind of a conceptual understanding you will have. Now, here in the first module, we have the advanced applications of the time value of money. But before that, we should have at least a basic idea that what we were doing in that. What was the interest? What was the compounding interest? What is the compounding force? Let's have a basic overview idea that how that particular entire process of time value of money works. I hope all those students who have joined me online are able to hear me up there. May I have a confirmation from there, please? Mr. Mohammed, Mr. Ali? Okay, thank you very much. Today we are going to understand that what is the power of compounding, how it actually works. Now, before we understand the power of compounding, let me tell you that you will be able to realize that what is the power of compounding only after a few years. If you just invest for 5 to 10 years, no, you will not be able to understand what that power is. Remain yourself invested for 15 to 20 years, you will understand that what.
Excuse me, sir. The screen not visible.
Screen is not visible. I need to share it from there too. Okay. So any return you get, no, will be either a simple kind of a return or it would be a compounding kind of a return. So when I say compounding return, what do we mean by that? Can someone give me an idea about it? Compounding return, what is that? Is it stopped or what? Projection is stopped from there. ચાલુ છે અહીંયાથી તો ચાલુ જ છે. I guess સ્વિચમાં કંઈક ઇશ્યુ લાગે છે. બંધ બી નથી થતી સ્વિચ. નહીં લાઈટ થઈ છે. બંધ બી નહીં થતી સ્વિચ. ક્યારે બંધ થયું? હમણાં બંધ થયું? થઈ ઓનલાઈન જોઈ લઈએ એવું કરું. સ્વિચ બંધ બી નથી થતી જો. એનીવે તો શું કરશો, કેવી રીતે હું તમને પ્રોજેક્ટ કરું? એવું કરશું? હા તો જોઈ લો, વાંધો નહીં. એની અંદર એવો કોઈ ઓપ્શન આવે કે તમે ઓડિયોને બંધ કરી શકો? તો ઓડિયો મારો લાઈવ સાંભળી લો. ઓલા જેવું થશે, ઓલું પેલા ફટાકડો ફૂટી જાય ને ભાઈ થોડીક વાર પછી અવાજ આવે, એટલે અહીંયા ઓડિયોમાં થોડુંક તમને એવું લાગશે. Okay, so all the students who have joined online, I'm really sorry that the project has stopped working, so I was supposed to take some time out there. Okay, let me project the screen from here, and I think my Excel screen is visible to all of you from there, right? Here as well. Good. So we were there into simple and compounding. Now, what's the difference between simple and compounding return? Can someone tell me the basic difference between the two?
In the simple return, sir, we get the interest by yearly, but in the compounding by monthly.
Okay, in a simple interest, we get the interest yearly, and in compounding, we get it monthly. Is it so? In simple interest, interest on principal.
I mean,
Okay, as stated by Ms. Avni from here that compounding interest is something which is on principal plus interest, and simple interest is always on the principal. Is it right?
yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so here as well from Ms. Jogeshwari as well as from Mr. Hitesh, we have come to know that it's right. Yes, it's been correctly identified. So in other language, I can say that it's the interest on interest. Yes or no? Again, I can say that the interest are reinvested. That's why you get the interest on the reinvested amount. Yes or no? Okay. Now, how in a longer period of time it makes a difference actually? Let's try to understand that. When we talk about the compounding can have a frequency. The frequency can be yearly, it can be monthly, it can be 6 monthly, it can be quarterly, or it can be any other time horizon for which we get the compounding. So what do we mean by the frequency first of all? Say if you are getting the return which is yearly in nature, 100 rupees you have invested and you get the return 10 percentage, say for example, with the yearly frequency. So what do we mean by that? So 10 percentage would be on 100 and you get 10 rupees, and the next amount you will, you will be able to accumulate would be 110 at the year end, right? Now if that frequency is, say for example, 6 monthly, then how the interest amount would have been manually calculated? Let's see that. On 100, you get 5 percentage. How did I come to know what is the 5 percentage? How did I come to know that 5 percentage? 10 divided by 2. Why did I do 10 divided by 2? Because it's 6 monthly, right? So how many times 6 months occurs in a year? 2 times. So that's why I need to divide this 10 percentage by 2. So on 100 you get 5 percentage. So after the end of the first 6 months, your amount of investment shall be 105, including your investment, including your interest. Then for the next 6 months, you get the interest on 105, and that would again be how much? 5 percentage. So it's not 5 percentage of 100 this time, it would be a 5 percentage of 105. Here in this case, our rate of compounding was just 10 percentage only. But my dear friends, the compounding frequency was different. Now, may I have a bit of an analytical understanding from your side? If you increase the compounding frequency, whether the amount will be more or less? More?
More.
As simple as that. From online as well, I have come to know it would be more. So more and more compounding frequency you have, that means if you make it monthly, you will be able to make it more, right? If you make it daily, you will be able to make even more. Okay. So now how that simple and compounding interest works, let's understand it from the very basics. Say 100 rupees you have invested both in simple and in compounding interest, and we are investing it for the 5 years, and in both the cases you get 10 percentage only. So on 100 you get 10 in the first year, right? Then in the second year you again get how much? 10. Third year you again get how much? 10. So that means whatever the yearly interest you get, if you just directly multiply that with the number of periods, you get the total amount of interest. Yes or no? So in simple interest, the formula is again very simple, as the name itself suggests. You will have to just multiply the interest you get by the number of periods. So you get the total amount of interest you have earned. And if you add it in the principal amount, it becomes the total amount of investment you will be getting after some number of years. Is it clear, everyone? Yes. Till now? Now, say for example, we had invested it for 5 years, so that means how much interest we have got here? 50 rupees. Here in this case, how much interest will be able to gather? On 100, you get 10 percentage, so it would be 10. So at the end of the first year, your amount of investment would be 110. That would be the accumulated amount. That means the interest is reinvested. Now on the second year, you get the 10 percentage of interest. That would be on 11. 110, so that would be 11. So you get 121 at the year 2. Year number 3, 12.1. 10 percentage of 121 would be 12.1. So what would be the total? 133.1. At the year 4, you get 13.31. So total would be 14641. 146.41. And we are supposed to get the interest for the 5th year too. How much difference it will be able to make? Let's see that. It would be 14.64, right? The 5th year's interest, 10 percentage. So here it would be 0, 7, 1, 5, 6, 161.05 would be the interest you will be getting. Would be the amount of investment you will have. So what's the difference of interest you have got in simple and the compounding? In compounding, the total interest is 100 rupees was your investment at the initial period. So you have earned 61.05. That is the compounding. And in simple, what you have earned is 50. So the difference is 11.05. Now this 11.05 is also regarded as the force of interest, force of compounding interest. That's the difference you are earning because your earnings were reinvested over a period of time. Now see, for the 5 years, the compounding frequency was also very yearly. You couldn't realize the compounding benefits up to a larger extent. But if so many number of years, you'll understand how much difference it makes. Now, I do not want to calculate for this many number of years. We have Excel, right? That's why we are doing it right now. Let's take that example, how much difference it makes. Say you had invested 1 lakh rupees. I hope it's visible to everyone. Let me just use the magnifier so you get it in a better way. Now, what's the formula to find the compounding interest? Anyone from you? There is something called compounding factor. You multiply that with the compounding factor, you get the future value. So what's the compounding factor? Any idea about it? Anyone? 1 plus r raised to n. રાઈટ થોડુંક થોડુંક યાદ આવે છે બધાને? અચ્છા 1 plus r raised to n ને આપણે કેની સાથે મલ્ટીપ્લાય કરીએ? amount of investment. So amount of investment can also be called as the PV, that is the present value. Obviously investment you do in the present. પછી તો ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ નથી કરવાનો, અત્યારે કરીએ છીએ તો it's a present value. Now PV you multiply with compounding factor, which is 1 plus r raised to n, you get the future value. So future value minus present value will be your interest, yes or no? We are right now understanding the very basics of time value of money. Let's see that if you invest it for 10 years at 10%, what interest you get by using this compounding factor. So 1 lakh rupees is going to be my investment, and 10% matlab ki 1 plus r. R would be 10%. If we write it in a decimal, it would be 0.10. Yes or no? Closing the bracket, raised to sign, and we are going to invest it for 10 number of years. So our compounding factor would be, and if I start with the equal to sign, it would give me the exact answer. Now this is for how many number of years? 10. Let's do it for 20, 30, 40, and 50. Let's find the compounding factors for all this number of years. Now this entire formula will remain same. Only thing that would be different would be number of periods. So I am just copying that formula, pasting it to all other cells. And let me use 20 instead of 10 there. Can you check that what's the difference in a compounding factor? It's 6.72. Let's go for the third one. I'm putting 30 over there. It's 17.44. Oh my God. Then let's multiply again. 40. It's how much? 45.25. And the fifth one, 50. It's 117.39. Now this is nothing but you get some multiplication factor. You will have to multiply this amount with the present value. You get the future value. Yes or no? Okay. Now let me multiply this all amounts with 1 lakh rupees. I'm just telling you what's the power of compounding and how you'll be able to realize it only after a few number of years. I'm multiplying that with 1 lakh rupees. And I'm multiplying that with 1 lakh rupees for all this number of periods. You can check what's the difference there. If you withdraw this entire money after 10 years at 10% monthly yearly compounding, your future value is 2,59,374. If you do it for 20, it becomes 672. That means you will be able to get this much of an amount after 20 years. If you wait for 10 more number of years, 6 lakh का 3 गुना हो जाता है. If you wait for 10 more number of years, 17 का 45 हो जाता है. 1 crore 17 lakh तक पहुंच जाता है. 1 lakh rupees of my investment, if I invest for 50 years, it would be 1 crore 17 lakhs 39,085. Can you imagine by how many number of times you have multiplied your present value? That's the exponential growth. It increases at the ever increasing rate. Now, if you were supposed to find the present value, the interest as per the simple interest, what would have been your simple formula? You just find the interest amount and you multiply that with all this number of years. Yes or no? So I'm again giving the formula, all those who couldn't understand that. Say 1 lakh rupees you are investing, and 1 lakh rupees you get 10%. So how much interest you get? 10,000. Yes or no? And if you multiply this 10,000 with 50, you get 50 years of interest, because anyway your interest is going to be 10,000 only for all this number of years. It's gonna be fixed. So 10,000 multiplied by 50, how much you get? 5 lakhs. Oh, so 5 lakhs is the interest I'm getting. And if I had invested it for simple interest for 50 years, my amount of investment after 50 years would have been, 1 was my investment, 5 I have got as a simple interest. So my total investment is going to be how much? 6 lakh. After that will be the value of my investment after 50 years. And here in this case, it is how much? 1 crore 17 lakhs 39,000. Can you imagine the difference between the two? 6 lakhs and 1 crore 17 lakhs. Have you understood what is the power of compounding? When you add your wealth, when you multiply your wealth, the difference is huge. That's why the finance people calls it as the opportunity lost too. If you are holding a cash, you are not investing in anywhere, though you haven't incurred any cost, but you have lost the opportunity to invest it somewhere. And if you have lost the opportunity, that means that is also a cost for you. Yes or no, Avani? So if I ask you a very simple question, that what's the cost for me to go to a simple interest instead of compounding interest in this 50 years of investment I'm making? What's the cost of it? Can you calculate this? I'm giving you 1 minute if you can calculate. What is the cost if I opt for a simple interest instead of compounding interest in this case? What's the cost? Yes, as stated by Ms. Jogeshwari, the cost is 1 crore 17 lakhs 39,085 minus 6 lakhs. The difference between the simple interest and the compounding interest. How much it is? 1 crore 11 lakh 39,085. That is the cost if I would be opting for simple interest instead of compounding interest. Are you getting it? આપણે ઘણા બધા લોકોને જોતા હોઈએ. પહેલા છે ને એવું થતું કે બિચારા કિસાન હોય, ગરીબ લોકો હોય, તો જમીનદાર પાસેથી પૈસા લેવા આવતા. તો એ લોકોને ખબર ન પડતી કે વ્યાજ ઉપર વ્યાજ એટલે શું. એને તો એમ જ દાખવું ભાઈ મારે છે ને 5% અને વ્યાજ આપવું પડશે. હવે 5% વ્યાજ આપવું પડશે એવું 10 વર્ષ 20 વર્ષનો કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ કર્યો હોય ને વ્યાજ જો જમા થતું જાય ને એના ઉપર ફરીથી પાછું વ્યાજ લાગે એટલે એને ખબર ન હોય, એને એવું જ હોય કે મને તો 5% જ આપવાનું છે, મારે તો 5% જ આપવાનું છે. That's the financial literacy. Even many of our parents wouldn't be knowing that this would be the huge amount of difference will be created by simple interest and compounding interest. That's the power of compounding. Now, if you increase your compounding frequency, this increases again. Now, say for example, here in this case, if investment was not the yearly compounding, but it was monthly compounding, then can someone tell me what could have been the compounding factor formula? I hope you have understood my question well. If this interest was not yearly compounding, but it was a monthly compounding, so what would have been my formula? Can someone tell me?
15 multiple 12. 50 multiple 12.
Multiplied by 12, that would be the number of periods. But there is one more thing which you have missed. 10 divided by 12. Yes, so 10% interest we have got. No, that should also be divided by 12. So I am using 0.1 divided by 12 here. That is the one part. And this 50 is multiplied with 12. So whatever the compounding frequency is, no, you divide that, you divide the rate by the compounding frequency, you multiply the number of periods by the compounding frequency. Is it clear? બેટા રેટ કરવો, હવે તો દર વખતે તને ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ મળે તો તને મંથલી ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ મળવાનું છે, યરલી 10%. 10% yearly છે. We are just changing the frequency. We are not changing the rate of return you get. The rate of return is 10% only on yearly basis, but the frequency of compounding is changed. That means your amount of reinvestment will not be on yearly basis, will be on monthly basis. So that's why you have divided 10 by 12%, 12, right? Now if I do this, it comes how much? Just a second. This must be in a bracket. This is an Excel issue, don't worry. So 50 multiplied by 12 must be in a bracket. So it comes 145. So how much it is? 1 crore 45 lakhs. Earlier in that case it was 1 crore 17 lakhs. So if you increase your compounding frequency, again you will be able to add up 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs, approximately more than this. So what we have taken from this lecture. Number one, this is how the chart looks like. And this is applicable to individuals' lives too. People come to me and say that, sir, we are not, people think like life goes like this, you know. It's like this. They feel that it should be like this. No, it's not like this. It doesn't go in a linear fashion. The life goes like this. Can you understand the difference between the two? Can you understand the difference between the two? And this is how the compounding also works. Some people would be like, sir, idhar philosophy kahan pe ghusai? This is good as well. That's why. See, you people feel that the life should go like this. You should get everything in a proportionate manner by the afflux of time. Number of periods you spend, you should get. At some point of time, you should get this. At some point of time, you should get this. And you get little bit disappointed because the life is not going in a linear fashion up to this point. You are underperforming. You are underperforming for how many number of years? Till this many number of years. So this is the valley of disappointment. What do we call it? Valley of disappointment. You feel that you are always underperforming, but your growth was exponential in nature. At one point of time, you will get the breakout, and ये जो linear वाली प्रगति है ना, उससे भी तुम्हारी प्रगति ऊपर जाने वाली है. But if you could maintain the patience in this valley of disappointment period, you increase your knowledge and skills. At one point of time, you will have a breakout like this, and this is how the compounding works as well. It works like this. So you will be able to understand the benefits of compounding only after this point. Are you able to understand? If you plot the amount of interest you have got for all this number of years, no, this is how the graph would be looking like. Exponential graph. Because obviously your amount of interest is getting increased over a period of time. That's why it looks exponential. What do we call, why do we call it an exponential? Because the things which are added are more and more. Daily change which you are getting, no, the change you are getting is increased over a period of time. It's not the same change you get. Just like in a simple interest, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. No, it's changing. So after this period, you will be able to understand the true benefits of compounding. That's why when some people come to us, being a financial advisor, we say that try to keep yourself invested for a longer period of time. This is my very practical advice to the people. You haven't got the exposure of this industry yet for mutual funds, insurance. I'm trying to give you this, knowledge so that you will keep yourself protected there. Do not switch your insurance plans regularly. Do not switch your mutual funds so regularly. Give them some time to perform. 2 साल में पैसे नहीं बने, सर 3 साल से पैसे थे बने ही नहीं बने, 3 साल में कंपाउंडिंग के बेनिफिट नहीं मिलते. 3 साल में क्या हो जाएगा? आपने देखा 40 से 50 गया ना, तब 45 का कितना हो गया? 145 हो गया. वो देखो, वो 10 साल में मिलेंगे पैसे. अभी रहने दो. 10 साल में पूछोगे कि मेरे को कुछ मिला नहीं, तो नहीं मिलेगा. Now they want you to change your plan because they get the commission again for the change plans. Even we even we have done it, but that's not an individual investor should do. So till now, is everyone clear? We have understood the interest, right? In a detailed manner. What is the simple interest? What is the compounding interest? The power of compounding we have understood. If we will be remaining invested for a longer period of time, then only we'll be able to realize the true benefits of it. Till that point of time, we'll not be able to understand what is the compounding. So I have told you what is the point after which you will be able to understand. So in a graph, this is the point from where you will be able to understand. From where the stiffness of this curve increases by many folds. कर्व जहां से एकदम ऊपर चले जाता है, वहां से आपको कंपाउंडिंग के बेनिफिट्स दिखाई देने शुरू होते हैं. क्लियर है? ओके, लेट्स मूव अहेड. नाउ when it comes to the compounding, you got to first identify that what is the type of investment you will be making. Now, compounding and discounting, all these two, future value and present value, can be understood from the two perspectives. One is from the loan perspective, another is from the investment perspective. Now, let me just give you a very simple example. Say there is a future value. So what is the meaning of future value? That after this many number of years, this would be the value of your investment or loan. Now, how from the both perspective people get confused in the basics actually. कई बार वो कहते हैं कि सर ये इन्वेस्टमेंट को ही लागू होता है, जो हम लोन अमोर्टाइजेशन शेड्यूल प्रिपेयर करते हैं, जहां पे हमें लोन के इंस्टॉलमेंट्स देने होते हैं, वहां पे ये लागू नहीं होता, वहां पे यही कॉन्सेप्ट लागू होता है. कुछ नहीं है, सिर्फ पर्सपेक्टिव का चेंज है. कैसे? फ्यूचर वैल्यू का मतलब क्या हुआ कि आफ्टर सम नंबर ऑफ इयर्स you will get some money or you will pay some money. Two perspectives: you will get some money or you will pay some money. Okay, just an example. If you receive the loan of 1 lakh rupees, then here you get cash inflow, right? This would be your cash outflow when you will pay it. So if you receive the loan of 1 lakh rupees and 10% is, say for example, is the interest rate, that the initial period you receive it, then you pay it. So first is the cash inflow taking place, another one is the cash outflow is taking place. Yes or no? The same concept is applicable when you invest it as well, no? When you invest it, so here it would be a cash outflow 1 lakh rupees, and here it would be cash inflow whatever the amount would be, and both this amount would be the same. It is just a difference of perspective. If it is a loan, then first inflow is taking place and then outflow is taking place. If it is the investment, first outflow is taking place and then inflow is taking place. As simple as that. Have we got it, Mr. Hitesh? Miss Avni? All the students out there, even if you haven't got it yet, just let me know. Or just give me a chotu sa confirmation that you were right up to the point till now.
Yes, sir. Done.
Good. So we have received confirmation from Ms. Jinkal, Mr. Ali. Good to see that. Now let's try to understand the types of cash flows. So here we are. The types of cash flows would be, let's think from the perspective of investment so that I'll be able to understand, explain you in a better manner. लोन को अभी अवॉइड करते हैं, लेकिन लोन और इन्वेस्टमेंट में दोनों में सेम फॉर्मूला अप्लाई होता है, ये ध्यान में रख दो. इन द बैक ऑफ योर माइंड प्लीज रिमेंबर इट. The same formula will be applicable, only the perspective would be the difference. First is the single transaction. What do we call it? Single transaction, or we may call it a single cash flow. Then it could be annuity. Then it can be differential cash flow. And the last one can be perpetuity. Let's try to understand it one by one. The first is the single transaction. That means you are investing it only for the one time, not on regular basis. Yes or no? If your period of investment was 10 years, you are investing 1 lakh rupees only for the one time. For 10 years, you are just receiving the interest. As simple as that. If it's an annuity, then there are various types of the annuity as well. We'll go into the types of annuity after some time. But two things must be satisfied. One is the amount of investment must be regular in nature. This is applicable even to the loan. When you pay the installments, it's regular in nature. But right now we are not thinking from the loan perspective. We are thinking from the investment perspective. 10,000 rupees you are investing, say in a mutual fund. And now this frequency of investment can be monthly, can be quarterly, can be yearly. Can be daily too, whatever the case it would be. Some of the post office schemes are there in which you daily invest. તમે લોકોને ખબર હોય તો ઘણી વખતે પોસ્ટ ઓફિસ વાળા કલેક્શન કરવા આવે તો ડેઈલી ના 200 રૂપિયા 300 રૂપિયા લઈને જતા. So it could be daily too. So 10,000 rupees, say for example, you are investing for 10 years and this 10,000 would be your monthly investment. Now that's called an annuity. To call it an annuity, two rules must be satisfied, Mr. Hitesh. Number one is the amount of investment for all this number of periods must be 10,000 only, must be same. If it becomes 11,000, the annuity is stopped. Then, say for example, if for 2 more years you are going to invest 11,000, then up to this many number of years, put it at 10,000 annuity. Then after that 2 years, you will put it at 11,000 annuity. So annuity stops when the amount gets increased or decreased. It must remain same, then you can call it an annuity for that period, otherwise not. मैं ऐसा नहीं कहता कि उसका कैलकुलेशन नहीं होगा, कैलकुलेशन तो होगा ही, लेकिन वो एन्युटी बदल जाएगी फिर. Okay. Number 2 thing is the difference between the two cash inflows, outflows, the time period difference must also be same. अभी अपनी को मजा लगा कि सर अभी इन्वेस्ट कर देते हैं, फिर 3 महीने के बाद अब 3 महीने तक पैसा नहीं है, नाउ आई विल इन्वेस्ट. फिर उसको वो सो कराने के बाद 3 साल के बाद इन्वेस्ट करना शुरू कर दिया, फिर अचानक से झक गई, फिर उसको लगा कि नहीं अब तो डेली बेसिस पे इन्वेस्ट करना है. Then it's not an annuity. The frequency should also remain same. The time period between the two cash inflows and outflows should also remain same. Okay. So the frequency, so what are the two conditions we have seen? You may write it as well. One is cash inflow or cash outflow should remain same. Number 2 is period should also remain same. Right? Now, if period and this installments are not remaining same, then कहीं तो कैलकुलेशन करना पड़ेगा उसका. तो किधर कैलकुलेशन करेंगे? Then this differential cash flows will come into the picture. Say Hitesh is like, sir, I don't want to invest 10,000 rupees right now. I just want to invest 7,000 right now. Okay. So after the completion of MBA, say for example, if he starts earning some money, he would be like, sir, now I can afford investing 20,000 rupees on monthly basis. Then he would say, from the third year, I would be able to invest 20,000, 25,000. So whatever the case it would be, you would have to just write whatever the amount of investment you are making for all this number of periods, it's going to be the differential cash flow. Is it clear? Now in differential cash flow, the amount of interest on each and every investment can also be different. The period frequency could also be different. Sometimes you may just invest it on yearly basis. Sometimes you may just invest it on monthly basis. कभी कभी ऐसा लगा कि पूरे साल का एक साथ पे कर देना है, फाइन. कभी ऐसा लगा कि नहीं सर मंथली पे करना है, फाइन. इसीलिए तो उसका नाम क्या रखा है हमने? Differential cash flows. In differential cash flows, we have taken few examples in the financial management, but it was a basic financial management. Not all can understand it. So we couldn't take the differential cash flows at the same time. हमने क्या किया था, कैसे वाले देखे थे, मैं आपको सिंपल सा एग्जांपल दूं. हमने ऐसे देखे थे 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Say for example, if you are investing in all this number of years, in year number 1, 10, year number 2, 11, year number 3, 12, 13 and 14. This is a differential cash flows, understood. But this is again a very simple one because the frequency you have kept same yearly. The rate of return was also same for which we were supposed to find future value. But now if I tell you that the first amount is invested 10,000, on that you get 12%. Then second amount you will be investing 11,000 in the first half year and 11,000 in the second half year. This kind of an examples we haven't taken there. Those examples we are going to take this time around. Is it clear? यार उसका कोई सेंस भी नहीं बनता था ना वहां पे, क्योंकि वो तो बेसिक फाइन है। वहां पे मैं ऐसे पढ़ा देता तो ओ नहीं लेना नहीं लेना, फिर तो भाग जाते बच्चे उधर से। Okay, so this could be differential cash flow, and the fourth one it could be perpetuity. What do we mean by the perpetuity? May I have the answers from you guys, please? Perpetuity का मतलब क्या होता है? Can someone give me an idea about the perpetuity from there? Mr. Ali, Miss Anshu, Mr. Mohammed, Miss Jinkle. Any idea about it? Perpetuity?
So it stays for fixed rate forever.
Life is defined. Hmm?
It's true.
Yes, can you repeat it again?
It stays for a constant rate or fixed rate at or forever.
Forever is the word I'll be taking, but at a constant rate might not be, right?
Okay, yes.
Now, this perpetuity is something you get for forever. Now, what do we mean by forever? Unforeseeable future for as many number of periods there would be. What's the definition of it? It's infinity, yes or no? So obviously there has to be some amount you will be getting. What's that infinity? How do you find the future value and present value if it is infinity? You are unable to get to any end. You don't know how many number of periods there would be. So one thing is that you cannot find the future value of infinity, but you can find the present value of infinity. Present value of infinity is possible, future value is not possible. Some of the students would be like, sir, ऐसा कैसे? Present value भी कैसे find कर सकते हैं? Future value तो possible ही नहीं है. Because to find the future value, you require the number of periods. To find the future value, you also require the rate of return you will be getting. But the maximum amount of investment which you will be making right now to get the infinite cash flows, for that we have a calculation. Now that will derive mathematically, logically in the next lecture. That how, sir, present value or perpetuity is possible, but future value of perpetuity is not possible. What is the reason behind it? You also try to read some material literature on that. Come up little bit prepared. We'll discuss it. We'll find that how, and the simple formula would be there to find the present value. It's a very, very simple formula. If I give you the formula as well, no? The formula looks like this. Say, if you are supposed to get the interest for infinite period, then the interest amount, you will be dividing that by rate. This is a very simple formula to find the present value of the perpetuity. As simple as that. Why it is so? Why present value can be found for the perpetuity but future value cannot be found? So this is my question for which you will be thinking in the next lecture. Is it clear? थोड़ा सा पढ़ के आइए उसके लिए. So we have seen the four cash flow patterns. One is the single cash flow. You are investing or you are giving the loan only for the one time. Then it could be annuity, types of annuity. We'll see later on. There would be deferred annuities too, some advanced level annuities. We are going to see that too. Then it can be differential cash flows. In differential cash flow, some of the very simple kind of an examples we have already seen when we were studying the financial management. In this case, we would be studying the various frequencies with the various interest rates. Some type of a complexity we'll try to introduce there too. And then we have the perpetuity for infinity. Now, future value of perpetuity is not possible, but present value is possible. And this is going to be the discussion of the next lecture. Till now, is everyone clear? Everyone clear? Have you understood the power of compounding? Have you understood that after what many number of years you will be able to actually realize the power of compounding? Have you understood the difference between the power of compounding, the compounding interest and the simple interest? And that can be the cost of opting for simple interest. The difference between the compounding interest and the simple interest is the cost of opting the simple interest. Though it is not a cost for you, though it is not the actual cost for you, but you have lost the opportunity to earn this much of a money. That's why it's an opportunity lost. And if opportunity is lost, it's also the cost. That's it from my side. Thank you very much. We'll see you later on. All the students who have joined online may just put your attendance. Just put your enrollment number in the chat box, and even the offline students too. So I would be having a compiled attendance. Please put your attendance, enrollment number, and then we may disperse for the day. All the students who have joined over there, if you couldn't understand anything, you can ask it to me right now. Anything where you require a further explanation from my side. Okay, if there is nothing, then we may disperse. Bye bye, take care, sayonara, enjoy the rest of the day.